Zhuge Liang, the eternal beacon of wisdom. Zhuge Liang, also known as Kong Ming, is one of the most venerated figures in Chinese history, renowned not only for his military genius but also for his profound moral character, scholarly depth, and unwavering loyalty. Though he lived during the turbulent Three Kingdoms period, his wisdom has transcended the ages and continues to inspire countless generations. In both literature and reality, Zhuge Liang is revered as a paragon of virtue, intelligence, and leadership. From a young age, Zhuge Liang demonstrated an exceptional intellect and a passion for learning. Rather than seeking fame or fortune, he chose a life of simplicity and study in Longzhong, where he cultivated both his knowledge and his principles. It wasn't until Liu Bei, a ruler desperate to save his crumbling kingdom, made 3 humble visits to Zhuge Liang's cottage that the great strategist finally agreed to serve. That decision changed the course of history. Despite the chaos of war, Zhuge Liang remained unwavering in his ideals. He was not just a war tactician, but a statesman and philosopher who advocated for ethical governance, personal discipline, and the betterment of society. His letters, memorials, and strategic treatises reveal a man of profound thought and vision. Through his actions and words, he taught the world how to lead not only armies but also oneself. Zhuge Liang's wisdom isn't confined to ancient scrolls or battlefield tactics. It holds universal truths that speak to our modern lives. Truths about ambition, learning, self-cultivation, and moral integrity. Let us explore the life lessons he left behind and analyze why they remain so powerful to this day. Part 2. Life Lessons from Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang is remembered not only as a brilliant strategist and statesman, but also as a great moral teacher. He left behind a treasury of wisdom that continues to resonate. Lessons about self-discipline, education, ethics, leadership, and purpose. His teachings are more than personal philosophies. They are timeless principles for living with responsibility, honesty, and clarity in a world full of change. 1. Without simplicity, one cannot express great ambition. Without inner calm, one cannot see far. This is one of Zhuge Liang's most famous teachings, found in the letter he wrote to his son, The Admonition to My Son. It speaks of the essential foundation for anyone who wishes to accomplish great things: simplicity and serenity. Analysis: to live simply is not to reject the world, but to master one's desires. Simplicity allows clarity, and clarity leads to meaningful ambition. In inner stillness, we develop the capacity to reflect, strategize, and see beyond the immediate. Without peace of mind, long-term vision is lost in the fog of distraction. Today, in a world filled with distractions and consumerism, Zhuge Liang's advice is a call to mindfulness. It reminds us to slow down, filter out the noise, and return to the essence of who we are and what we aim to achieve. 2. Learning is like rowing upstream. Not to advance is to fall back. Zhuge Liang was a lifelong learner and polymath. His statement about education is as relevant now as it was over a millennium ago. Analysis: true learning is a continuous journey. The world changes rapidly, and stagnation is equivalent to regression. Zhuge Liang saw education not as a phase, but as a lifelong pursuit that elevates both the mind and the spirit. In today's fast-evolving world, where information doubles every few years, those who stop learning quickly become obsolete. Education enriches not just our careers but our character. It helps us understand others, solve problems, and live more meaningful lives. Whether in school, at work, or in personal development, Zhuge Liang's wisdom inspires a mindset of perseverance, humility, and endless curiosity. 3. Diligence and frugality nurture virtue. Endurance and patience lead to success. Zhuge Liang practiced what he preached. As the de facto leader of Shu Han, He lived modestly, refused luxuries, and governed with utmost integrity. Analysis. This principle captures the essence of sustainable success. Diligence builds strength, frugality preserves focus, endurance shapes character, and patience ensures wise timing. Zhuge Liang's personal life embodied these ideals. He chose simplicity over extravagance and perseverance over pride. In an age that often rewards instant gratification, this teaching reminds us that true success lies in long-term effort, ethical living, and the ability to stay the course when others falter. For loyal to the ruler, loving to the people, devoted in heart and action, repay the world with great virtue. Zhuge Liang served his ruler Liu Bei, and later Liu Shan, with unparalleled loyalty. Yet his service was not blind, it was rooted in righteousness and compassion. Analysis. Leadership for Zhuge Liang meant putting the people first, staying true to moral values, and never abusing power. He believed that the foundation of lasting governance was virtue, not coercion or manipulation. This philosophy speaks to modern leaders at every level. Whether managing a company or leading a nation, true authority arises not from status, but from trust, service, and ethical conduct. Zhuge Liang teaches us that leadership is a moral responsibility. 5. Speak less, do more. Govern with principle, protect the nation with heart. Zhuge Liang valued humility and action over grandstanding. In his famous memorial on sending out the troops, he didn't justify power but humbly affirmed his duties. Analysis. His style of leadership was quiet, steady, and principled. He governed not with force but with moral conviction. Even in the midst of political intrigue and war, he remained focused on service and integrity. This is a powerful lesson in today's world, where flashy words often drown out sincere effort. Leaders who act with humility, who live their values, and who prioritize service over status leave a lasting legacy, just as Zhuge Liang did. 6. Live with purpose, die with honor. Zhuge Liang lived his life in the service of a noble vision, a peaceful, just, and orderly state. Even when facing death, he worked tirelessly on military strategies and state affairs. Analysis. He didn't fear death, he feared wasting life. Purpose gave him strength, and honor defined his every action. Zhuge Liang's loyalty was not only to a ruler, but to a moral vision. He proved that a meaningful life is one lived for something greater than the self. In a modern world where values are often compromised for gain, this is a timeless lesson. Hold on to your ideals. Live not only for survival or success, but for purpose, virtue, and the common good. Summary. Zhuge Liang left no castles or treasures behind. What he offered instead were eternal values, wisdom that continues to light the way for those seeking to live a life of purpose and dignity. From a humble recluse to a legendary figure, he taught us that life is not about fame or fortune, but about service, learning, and moral integrity. We are reminded by his example that to truly lead, whether in society, at home, or in our own hearts, we must do so with wisdom, humility, and unwavering principles. In the next section, we will delve into Part 3, Zhuge Liang's strategies and the art of leadership, to understand how he rose to become one of the greatest military and political minds in Eastern history. Part 3, Zhuge Liang's strategies and the art of leadership. Zhuge Liang was not only a brilliant strategist but also a complete model of leadership, one who combined wisdom, ethics, and vision. His military prowess cannot be separated from his ability to govern people and build sustainable systems. The following leadership lessons from Zhuge Liang remain relevant not just for battlefields, but also for modern business, governance, and personal development. 1. Lead with ethics, win with compassion. Zhuge Liang believed the strongest power in any team lay not in brute force, but in winning hearts. He forbade his troops from looting or harming civilians and treated captured enemies with kindness and justice. Lesson: leadership today is not about domination but about culture, values, and trust. Ethical leadership creates loyalty and long-term success. Zhuge Liang's example reminds modern leaders to focus on building trust and leading by values. 2. Recognize and nurture talent. Zhuge Liang had a keen eye for talent and knew how to position people where they could shine. Even when he made mistakes in judgment, such as in the case of Ma Su, he took responsibility and learned from it. Lesson: great leaders know how to build great teams. It's not enough to hire talent. Leaders must develop, mentor, and support their teams. Mistakes will happen, but growth comes from accountability and reflection. 3. Flexible strategy, consistent action. Though he led numerous northern expeditions, Zhuge Liang never acted rashly. He adapted to circumstances, waited for the right moment, and avoided being driven by pride or pressure. Lesson: leadership demands both adaptability and consistency. Flexibility in tactics must be grounded in unwavering principles. The best leaders respond to change with calm, not chaos. 4. Lead by example. Zhuge Liang did not lead from behind a desk. He shared hardships with his soldiers, lived simply, worked tirelessly, and modeled the discipline he expected from others. Lesson: leadership by example creates respect and loyalty. Modern leaders must be present, transparent, and consistent in word and action. 5. Prepare thoroughly. Success is built on preparation. Zhuge Liang was known for his meticulous planning. Every campaign was backed by deep research, careful logistics, and multiple contingency plans. Lesson: success is rarely accidental. It requires foresight, attention to detail, and readiness for the unexpected. Zhuge Liang's thoroughness reminds us to respect preparation as the bedrock of success. Conclusion of Part 3. Leadership is not merely about holding power, it is about guiding people, with a servant's heart, a strategist's mind, and an unwavering moral compass. Zhuge Liang exemplified this balance. His legacy is not just in battles won but in people inspired. From military campaigns to daily conduct, Zhuge Liang left behind a map, not just for victory but for meaning. His leadership philosophy continues to offer a timeless blueprint for anyone who seeks to lead with vision and integrity. In Part 4, we will explore Zhuge Liang in culture and as a symbol of Eastern wisdom, discovering how his image transcended history to become a timeless emblem of intellect, virtue, and loyalty.